All right, well, when it comes to officially bringing the Oakland A's to Vegas, it's play ball.
Yeah, and Governor Lombardo is stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, he wants his A's package passed in 3 weeks. Right now, the A's have entered an agreement to purchase land from Red Rock Resorts near Dean Martin and Tropicana as they build a stadium there, but they are asking for public funding.
The team has committed to spending $1 billion. They're asking Clark County and Nevada to kick in $500 million of funding or funding mechanisms. But Clark County Senator Scott Hammond says if the land bought by the A's becomes a tax district, it will not cost taxpayers.
So there would be no room tax, for example. It's not coming out of the general fund. There's no money that would have been generated that would go to education or anything like that, because they're going to be building up that area. They're generating tax, whether it be property tax or sales tax. It's not exactly public money.
The A's hope to break ground by next year and hope to move into their new stadium by 2027.